lesson in our Marks of a True Christian series from Romans, the 12th chapter. And today we're going to start reading from verse 14. And I call this section Marks of a True Christian for the bad times, the dangerous times, the hard times. The first two have been things that show up all the time, but this is when things get really bad. And we'll start reading, "Bless those who persecute you. Bless and do not curse them. Rejoice with those who rejoice. Weep with those who weep. Live in harmony one with another. Do not be haughty, but associate with the lowly. Never be wise in your own sight." And I think that's about as far as we're going to go today. So there'll probably be a fourth one. Life has its ups and downs individually and for communities. Life is like a roller coaster. Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down, and sometimes there are dangerous times. And as we've said before in this is not a fake it till you make it. Let me tell you about these marks of a Christian so you can just paint them on the outside. These have to come from the inside. And that's what Romans 8:13 says, and we'll turn there real quick. Romans 8:13. "For if you live according to the flesh, you will die. But if by the Spirit you put to death the deeds of the body, you will live." This is the blessing we have as Christians, that we have God's Spirit indwelling in us and we're able to change these things. And most of the things that we're going to be talking about today are things that do have to come from the inside out, because we react. "Bless those," this is 14, "who persecute you. Bless and do not curse them." We don't call curses upon people. We don't think that way in our language anymore. So I'm just going to translate into something you may understand a little better. Bless people and don't wish bad on them. How many times when there's a opponent at work, in whatever, and they've done you wrong, they're up for this, boy, I wish that would, that just crosses your mind, it just gets you. And sometimes some of these things are going to happen because it just comes out before it's like they used to say, you know what, your mouth is in gear before your brain gets in gear. Sometimes you just say things and do things, and there's a scientific explanation for that, and that's why this has to come from the inside out. What your mouth in gear before your brain gets in gear is called an amygdala hijack. There's a little part of your brain back there that does the flight or fight response, and it kicks in. And they call that an amygdala hijack, because when a strong emotion comes, your flesh kicks in before your brain kicks in. And so that happens to people. And so this does have to come from the inside. It has to be where you're coming and you're, instead of thinking bad, you bless people. And that doesn't just mean with your mouth. It means do good for people. Don't curse them. Don't wish bad on people that are your enemy, even if it's just temporarily. Bless them in deed as well as in word. Learn to have that love that Christ had, that it comes out from you, so that just like Jesus said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do, that comes naturally from you, that you have immersed yourself so much in the Word that even though that little part of your brain wants to hijack you, your brain is already in gear, because when it sees somebody that needs something, it's ready to help. And there is no excuse for bad behavior. But if you've ever seen a bully, you can almost guarantee that bully has been bullied. That bully has been pushed around. So the Christian's reaction should be, before they even bully you, when you see people that have been pushed around and whatever, to bless them, to be good for them, to show that love that Christ shows to us. This next part, rejoice with those who rejoice, and weep with those who weep. Be engaged. Be engaged with people. If somebody is happy, be happy with them. If they're sad, be sad with them. There was a time when people thought that to be religious, you needed to separate yourself from the world. You needed to get away from it. And so they went into convents. They went into monasteries. Some people even, they would climb up on a tower and sit at the top of the tower, because that could bring them closer to God, because they were mortifying their flesh, and also they were being separate from the world. John 17:14 through 16, I'm not going to make you go to that, but that says to be in the world, but not of the world. We need to be in this world. We need to be not of the world, but we need to be in it. We need to be engaged with people. Have you ever been deep in grief and had some well-meaning Christian come up and say those Christian platitudes to you? They're true. Absolutely true. And they're wonderful. But they don't mean a thing to you in that moment, right? Have you ever heard somebody say, I just don't know what to say to them? You know what? That's because God has already told us how to handle grief with people. He told it to us right here. He didn't say, go tell them this, go do this, go do that. Weep with those who weep. If there's somebody who's in grief, don't tell them they do better. Don't tell them God won't give you anything more than you can handle. And not even just go listen. Go sit there, put your hand on the shoulder and start crying with them. It's okay. It's okay to cry with them and to let them know that you feel sympathy for them. And I said sympathy, not empathy. Because nobody can. Empathy means feeling what they feel. Nobody can feel what they feel. Your grief may be really like theirs. Your trauma may be like theirs, but it's not the same. And so you are feeling sympathy, and you need to realize that you're not feeling it, what they're feeling. They're feeling something different, and you're showing your sympathy from what pain that you have and that you felt, and you're just crying with them. That is probably the best thing I can tell you to handle it when people have grief is just sit there and cry with them. It's okay. You don't have to say anything. And it's okay to rejoice with them. Usually when I have to preach a funeral sermon, and I just hate it. It's just like one of those. But I also want to rejoice with them. Talk about the good things. And I always find something funny too. To rejoice with people. Because even in their grief, there's still some funny things, some good things, some happy things. So, when you see people in this world, engage with them. Cry with them. Laugh with them. Smile with them. You now have probably better counseling advice than you would get from a couple of college classes. Just one little verse from the Bible. You know, I found out, because I did take some psychology classes, almost everything that was good I got out of psychology I'd already found in my Bible. Well, that's what you get. Clean that up here. Live in harmony with one another. Make it your practice to live in harmony. Is that easy? No. Because people do not agree with you. People have different politics, different ideas, different everything. Live in harmony. You don't have to agree on everything. Live in harmony. Do not be haughty, but associate with the lowly. How can we deal with people if we only stick to our time, to our people, to our class? You know, the Bible teaches us to take care of the poor, to take care of those people and all that. How can you do that if you don't associate with them? How can you know what they really need? How can you show stand to be around. Don't be afraid to associate with people, to help them, to be kind to them. It is you cannot help people if you don't understand them. I'm going to use an example that's not exactly the same, but yeah, it is pretty close. There was a big tsunami and flood in India. And the churches gathered up money and they sent tools to India. It's okay. We don't care. The thing is, they sent hammers and saws and all these carpentry tools. They don't build buildings in India the way we do. They don't have trees like we do. Thousands of dollars of merchandise set unused because it wouldn't work for what they need. I got a laugh. We ate at Tacos for Life one time. And when you buy a taco at Tacos for Life, they send food to these other countries. And for many of the countries, it would work really well. But having been in India, I look, oh yeah, they're going to send this much rice and this and this. People in India eat 2 kilos of rice a day. They don't eat a little bit of rice. In fact, Kentucky Fried Chicken in India said, we have a great idea. Indians love to eat rice, and they eat rice with everything, so they made a little meal with some spicy chicken and a little bit of rice. And it didn't even last 6 months on the menu. It was gone because the people, well, I'm not spending money for that little bitty bit of rice. I'm not going to do that. You've got to associate with people to know what they need, to know how to help them, to be able to that. You have to, how can I say, sometimes you have to get your hands dirty. You have to be able to get out there and be in the world, but not of the world. Never be wise in your own sight. That is probably one of the hardest things for us as Americans to do. We are rugged individualists. We know the right way to do everything. Every single one of us has to have that weird. That's just the way we are, but it's not the way we should be. We need to realize that we don't know everything. We don't understand everything, and no, we don't have all the answers. We need to look at the Bible for guidance. We need to look at other Christians for guidance. We need to learn to understand that we just don't have it all. We don't have it all together. we don't understand everything. And so that's one of the things that is, I think, really hard for me is go out and go, no, I don't have to know it all. I don't have to understand it. It's okay. Here's another way to put it. And this one is really hard for me. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be wrong. You don't have to always have the right answer. You don't always have to be right. Sometimes, guess what? You can be wrong, and it's okay. That's really hard for me because that just wasn't acceptable growing up. Being wrong was not acceptable at all. So I've had to learn to give a little bit of grace to myself and to other people. The reason I said myself first is because how can I give grace to you for your mistakes if I haven't learned how to first give me a little bit of grace for my mistakes? To understand that don't be wise in our own sight. Let other people tell you when you're right. Let other people tell you. And if they don't, then it's probably because you're not. So let them tell you. I think I'm going to go one more verse. Repay no one evil for evil, but give thought to do what is honorable in the sight of all. No payback. No payback. Don't repay evil for evil, but give thought. Oh boy, that's a scary word. Give thought. Because when people do us evil, sometimes, yes, we think about how we're going to repay them, but a lot of times, it's that old amygdala hijack again. Boom! I'm going to give thought. Stop and think about what is honorable in the sight of all. Think about what is the honorable thing to do. That thing, doing what is honorable in the sight of all, instead of reacting or thinking, that will bring more people to Christ than any detailed Bible study you ever do. Showing them that you're going to do the honorable thing, even when you're hurt, and even when the honorable thing is not in your best interest. Do what is honorable. That's why Jesus said, if they ask you to go 1 mile, go 2. That whole passage there says do the honorable thing. Don't just do what's required. Do what's honorable. Be an honorable person. In our society today, there's not that many people that are honorable. We have a lot of people that will do only what they have to do. Be the exception. Be the one that does what is honorable. That people will always say, boy, that person did good. I don't know about you, but I love to read the good stories on Facebook when people go out of their way. That's what we need to be. Saw one where a guy was speeding. Cop pulled him over. And he's sitting there, and he's got a tie on, but it's not tied right. And he's going, yeah, sorry, I was speeding. I've got a job interview, and I want to go. And Scott goes, step out of the car. He goes, here, let me help you tie your tie. So you can go to that job interview. So you can get that job. Do what is honorable. Go out of your way to do what is honorable. And that is a mark of a true Christian. Going out of your way to do the honorable thing. Read so many times of caught a woman who was shoplifting for her kids, for food. He and everybody at the station brought food to them. Do what's honorable. Don't just follow the letter of the laws. Do what's honorable. Be that person that when they walk down the street, people go, you know what? That's the kind of person I'd like to be. That's a Christian. We'll have our invitation song now, and you can stand. And if you need to answer the invitation in a public way,